What's up, y'all? I hope your day's off to a great start. I fell on this post on Reddit, and I thought it was a really, really interesting topic because it relates to what I think some of the short guys go through, and it speaks to also when I provide advice for the short homies. And so this post in particular, it's on Reddit. You'll be able to find the post also on my subreddit, so make sure you guys check it out. And also it would be great if you check it out because you can send me some video suggestions on topics you'd like for me to touch on. And on this channel, we touch on the very, awkward discussions or things that people are not comfortable discussing when it relates to being short. So here we go. Bear with me on this one because I'm going to read through and provide some commentary, but also because the way that it's structured, from a grammar standpoint, not to insult the person's grammar, but just like the punctuation. So bear with me on this, okay? First of all, I promise you this isn't incel, and neither is it condescending. Just take a shower. I'm ugly, and this isn't an understatement. One time on a school trip, girls in our class, 22 boys, 8 girls, made a ranking of all the boys. Obviously, I was last, and it was the first name written down, no contest. And yet, I didn't have problems with girls. Quite the opposite. How? I'll share my approach. Firstly, you have to accept that some stuff is just not for you. You will never be able to approach a woman on the street or a bar and ask her out. And that's okay. From her perspective, there's no reason to ever say yes. She doesn't know you, therefore the only metric she can judge you on is your presentation. That's not shallow or wrong. And I completely agree with this. People seem to forget also, like, we oftentimes, a lot of us, we judge people based off of the first, like the presentation, the first impression that we get. And also from a physical standpoint too, right? It doesn't take that much for us to figure out from the onset if we find a person attractive or not physically I speak. So now he goes on to say, being nice won't cut it either. A lot of young boys are told to be nice to women as a solution to their troubles, and they feel disappointment when it doesn't work out. But it obviously doesn't. Yes, someone might pick an ugly, nice person over an attractive jerk, but attractive people are mostly nice too. So why would anyone pick ugly and nice person over attractive and nice person if that was the only difference? The thing that you need to focus the most on is genuine connection while building secondary skills at the same time. I say this so many times, like building actual genuine connections, which means actually showing some form of genuine interest into things that the other person is interested in and asking questions and just, being open and curious about these things. I think it definitely goes a long way, and the other person becomes a lot more receptive because they do feel like they're being heard, they're being listened to, and you're actually paying attention, right? So building those type of connections are extremely important. And sorry, you'll kind of hear my dog in the background, doing her shenanigans or whatever. And then he goes on to saying, then make friends. Treat girls exactly the same as boys. They're just human. This will have the secondary effect of making you more sociable and less weird around girls. Hey, puppy. Yeah, sorry. No, leave it. Sorry, we'll play after. I got you. We'll play after. And then he says, finally, if you end up liking any girl, then there is a simple test. You want to start meeting her one-on-one as friends. If she's apprehensive, refuses, or accepts out of obligation and seems uncomfortable, be polite and give up so you can move on. There's no chance. You keep having her as a friend, so you still win, even if you can't be together. You haven't made the friendship weird by asking her out of the blue. And this is important because I've often seen this where guys will treat girls specifically in a certain way, especially if they're attracted to them. Like, I think as a general rule of thumb, you should just be a good individual to anyone regardless of their looks. But guys will also, like in a group setting, they act really, really strange around some girls. And sometimes, and I've witnessed this, like in super awkward situations where, like, they're like awkwardly trying to flirt with them or put them on the spot and things like that. And it's just uncomfortable, man. Like, no one, like, we don't need that, If she's receptive to spending time with you one-on-one, that's when you have a chance. At this point, it's hard to give specific directions because there are too many variables, but I'll just say that after reaching this point, I've had a 100% success rate. For most people, attraction grows more as you get closer with the other person. In general, your goal should be self-improvement first. If you are an interesting, well-rounded person that's a good conversationist, at least some people will grow attracted to you. Like, I agree with so many things that he said on so many levels, especially with the fact that he says, like, if the girl is not receptive, and it's very, very quick to find that out. Like, if you're asking a girl out and she's telling you she's busy, she's giving you all sorts of, reasons as why she can't, she's just not receptive. And that's when I think that you should just move on, because you're just wasting your time and energy, which you can spend doing other stuff with that energy, right? Bettering yourself. Like, he talks about, like, self-improvement, getting finding hobbies as well, right? Go play some sports, learn something new, or work out, go to the gym. It's definitely things that, the more experience you gain, the more you're able to provide knowledge, experience, or things. Just have insightful conversations with other individuals because you're experiencing these new things. You're trying these new things. And I think that's important, right? And he talks about self-improvement should be first, and absolutely. And I find it quite disappointing because, in the sense of, what I find disappointing is I've gone online and I've mentioned how it's important to work on self-improvement, things that you actually have control over when it comes to yourself. Your train of thought, the way that you see the world, the way that you handle certain conflicts, the way that you handle feedback, right? The way that you handle negativity, negative situations, right, around your physical appearance. It makes all the days difference. And whenever I tell this to people, sometimes they feel like, it's gaslighting. It's not gaslighting. That is just the absolute reality. Now, if you choose to be negative, then your experiences will just be negative. There's nothing positive out of just being negative throughout your day-to-day over something you absolutely have no control over. So this definitely speaks to a lot of that. And the fact that this person was self-aware, and self-awareness is extremely huge. I think it's a big thing, and it makes a difference in terms of your interactions and your self-confidence, especially because this person that we don't know was self-aware that they're not necessarily the best looking person, and they've been a witness of that because they've experienced it in a lot of different instances. But it didn't stop them from doing the things that they wanted to do, and they were also very realistic. And the thing about all of this too, especially when it comes to the dating world, like, you're not meant for everybody. A lot of people have their preferences, and you always have to remember, like, this is okay. The same way that you probably have your preferences too. Like, other people are allowed to have that, and you shouldn't make them feel bad or shame them because they have those preferences. It just means that they were just not meant for you, right? And I always believe that there's someone out there for everyone. So, needless to say, I hope that if you made it this far, you did enjoy it. Like I said, I will share this to the subreddit because I think this is an amazing post. It has like almost 30K upvotes, 13 rewards. So kudos to this person for being self-aware and knowing what were not their strong points and knowing what are their strong points, because I think it goes a long way. So again, I hope you enjoyed this, and I wish you a great day. Hope I'll see you around.